Now, WLOX's First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Eric Jaussaw.
All right, one of the things we're going to be watching very closely with Helene over the next 24 to 36 hours is its position relative to this big dip in the jet stream you see here on the water vapor. The water vapor tool is very useful in sort of seeing the overall steering currents in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. And we see this big dip in the jet stream. We call that a trough. That is what's currently pulling Helene to the north, and eventually will start to curve it off towards the north and to the east. And looking at the current satellite presentation of Helene, it is getting much better organized, and we're starting to see more of those thunderstorms beginning to wrap around the center. When you look a little bit closer, the infrared satellite imagery, the deep reds and purples indicate really cold cloud tops. So the colder the cloud top, that indicates a stronger storm because it's higher up into the atmosphere, those taller updrafts. But we're seeing more thunderstorms trying to wrap around the center of what appears to be an eye trying to develop. But here's one of the things about Helene that's going to be a problem, is how large the wind field is. The tropical storm force winds extend about 430 miles across, so that will generate a large storm surge for the Florida coast. In fact, that's when also, because of that large wind field, pretty much the entire state of Florida, going up into Georgia and the Carolinas, or South Carolina, under tropical storm warnings and hurricane warnings. But notice, none of those warnings are for South Mississippi. We're still expecting all of the majority of the significant impacts to be well off to our east, as Helene now forecast to become a Category 4 hurricane as it approaches the Florida Panhandle as we go into tomorrow evening. Looking at that forecast wind field, notice again, those tropical storm force winds pretty much covering up all of Florida. And with a fast moving system like this, and that's one that's large and fast moving, the impacts go very far inland, and it's not out of the question that perhaps areas as far inland as Atlanta, Georgia could experience disruptive tropical storm to almost hurricane force winds as Helene makes its way further inland tomorrow night. Here in South Mississippi, we are seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms that aren't necessarily related to Helene. In fact, a little stormy skies there. In Gulfport, 77 degrees now. Temperatures cooled down nicely with that thunderstorm around. In fact, here's what it looks like on the radar. It's pretty much on top of I-10 and Highway 49, basically along Cowan-Lorain. Highway 605 points west over into Highway 49 and I-10, dumping a lot of heavy rain and some gusty winds and lightning. Some of these storms actually produced some hail earlier today when they were tracking across Louisiana. Looking at the bigger picture, scattered showers and thunderstorms, already seeing rain bands from Helene making their way towards the Florida Panhandle. In fact, you can see just how large that circulation and that surge of tropical moisture heading into the southeast there. So tomorrow, waking up temperatures in the upper 60s. We will notice tomorrow will be a breezy day as Helene approaches, and we'll be on that west side of the circulation. Those north winds 15 to 25 miles per hour, maybe some higher gusts. We can't rule out maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm. Looking at futurecasts, you can see Helene making its way up towards the Panhandle, but we'll be on that west side of the circulation, so the dry air and cooler air, in fact, by Friday morning, looking quite nice across the area. So tomorrow morning, waking up temperatures in the upper 60s, a nice start. We'll climb into the 80s by the afternoon. Can't rule out maybe a stray shower or a thunderstorm as Helene tracks off towards the north. We'll see those breezy winds even persisting into Friday, generally turning more out of the west. Thursday morning, again, waking up temperatures in the upper 60s, but Friday morning, look at that, a nice taste of fall. Temperatures in the upper 60s. Yeah, we'll take that. Looking at the 7-day forecast, it looks like this again, looking breezy as we go into Thursday.